Yeah. All right, great. So, you know what you want in a year. You can be touring. You're already starting that process. That's good. In about 3 years, who knows what's gonna happen? But you may or may not be on
branding.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at.
Sponsorships,
Higher
branding,
level.
You know, out there. Nominations.
Nominations. That's when the awards
start.
Award
nominations. Magazine covers.
I see it.
Magazine covers. I don't know which ones, but we're gonna get some magazine.
You'll get something. Double XL's a start, but you'll get something.
We actually know some people that do so maybe we will get on that. We'd be the probably the most niche act on that.
Right. No, that's great. So, all right, cool. So we talked about your music process. Well, actually, we didn't talk about your music process. How do you decide what type of music to make, or how do you go about writing a song? What is it with you in writing that resonates? How long does it take you to write a song? How many songs have you written?
In my life?
Yeah, I mean in your life, but let's talk mainly in the last couple of years when you've been doing this seriously.
I've been doing this seriously since I started, pretty much. But
oh shit, fair enough on that.
Okay. I mean, like, even when I was doing it for fun, I didn't take it for like a profession. I took it seriously.
Right. You know. So how does somebody write a song? If you were to do a songwriting 101 lesson right now.
Well, my first lesson would be like, there is no right way to write a song.
So how do you write a song? What is your process?
My process has changed a lot throughout the years. So it used to because I used to just be all about the bars. So I used to just, get a pen and a paper. It all started with the first line. If the first line was ass, I wouldn't start that way. It all starts with the first line. I saw an interview with Ice Cube once where he said that the first line is the one that's got to pull them in. If you can't pull them in with the first line, they're not going to listen to your verse.
Wow.
So the first line is really important, especially when it comes to hip hop. And if your focus is bars, then yeah, your first line really matters. But
that's a great tip. That's a very great tip.
Other than that, man, I mean, in recent years, I just kind of go with the flow. I like to carry around one of these and just kind of, listen to my music.
On my cell phone? Just kidding.
No, my music plays on my cell phone, so if I try to record on my cell phone, then the music stops playing.
Oh.
So,
shit.
You know what I mean? So.
Shit, yeah, okay. You got this, you're the professional musician, you know what you're doing.
So, and on top of the fact that my phone, has a whole bunch of other shit on it, this got 63 hours of whatever the fuck I want, you know what I mean? So, it's definitely a lot more versatile in terms of just, like, recording on my thoughts. I use this to fucking, do therapy for myself, you know what I mean? Just to listen to my thoughts and then hear them later and be like, either I was right or I'm fucking crazy, but,
That's interesting. I've done that once or twice. But it was really interesting. Yeah.
Hearing your thoughts when in the moment, when you're in an emotional state, and then hearing it later when you're in a clear-minded state, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
But at least you start to recognize your patterns and like how you react to things. Like.
So how did you get into this whole attitude of mindfulness?
I just kind of stumbled upon it. I mean, I'm definitely somebody that's like had anxiety since I was about like 11, 12 years old. Had a lot of anxiety, and just over time trying to figure out ways to cope with it. Because as I got older, I was cool. I didn't really have anxiety a lot for a long time, but then. Right when I graduated high school and started college, it was like, anxiety started creeping in again for the first time in a couple years. And then, I went through ups and downs of, not really being able to like have healthy relationships with women, with my family, and not being able to just like, just to have healthy relationships. So like that was more than anything. Like it was just like I gotta fix myself in order to be who I want to be for the people that I love.
Sure.
So that's kind of where that came from. I mean, I definitely struggle with like mild depression.
Sure.
And anxiety and shit like that. So
that's what say damn near everybody in the world does. But yeah.
Yeah. So just knowing that part of myself and knowing that it's not. It's not what happens to you, but it's how you react to it. that mindset allows me to not take everything so personal. Like, even though I'm a perfectionist and I want to be perfect, like, to give myself a break and not hold myself to such a high standard, and just kind of,
right.
Like the album says, just take it as it comes and just learn about yourself. Life is a journey. It's a constant self-discovery if you want it to be that.
What's the greatest lesson you've ever learned?
What's the greatest lesson I ever learned?
Mm-hmm.
To breathe.
Sure. Just breathe. Sorry, I'm getting sentimental. That's what I to say. Anyways, cool. Just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. What would you say to somebody who was looking for advice on how to become an artist?
I'd say that if you want to be an artist, then you are an artist. I'd say that when I started making music, I was somebody who didn't allow myself to call myself an artist. Mm-hmm. It took me years of making music before I felt comfortable calling myself an artist. But the truth is, I was born with it because I had loved it so much.
Right.
And I had this desire to do it that it was really pure and very genuine, and it's I just was an artist. So like I would say there there's a skit on our album where this man John Kabat-Zinn is talking, and he's kind of narrating a lot of parts of the album. Mm-hmm. And
wait, is that?
He's I don't know him. He's the person who brought meditation to mainstream medicine.
Oh, Howard Zinn. That sounds so familiar.
No, John Kabat-Zinn.
John Kabat-Zinn. Oh, yeah. Who's Howard Zinn?
Howard Zinn sounds like a film composer.
He just incepted my mind right there. I just shout out to Howard Zinn, whoever you are. But sorry, can you repeat that? I was kind of lost in thought.
Just that. Yeah, so we have John Kabat-Zinn narrating certain parts of like our album in terms of like what the journey of the project is, and there's one of the skits that happens before the song is called "If I Get My Life," which the whole song is about like trying to get to a certain place. Yeah. Trying to be like, if I get my life up, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be this. Awesome. I'm gonna be that, and then. The skit right before that song comes on is that he's like, look, you're not going to be able to map this out. You're not going to be able to think your way into what the outcome of this is going to be and then get there. Because the irony of life is that you're already here. There is no there. The past is a tool. The future is a tool. They're important tools that you can use. But
here now.
They're the only real time that we live in as human beings is now. So the whole thing about thinking about if I get my life, if I do this, if I get there, it's not a thing.
What are you doing now? I mean, what is it? The age-old quote. Excellence is not an act; it's a habit. Fuck, I forget.
Yeah, I think it's not an action, it's a habit.
Yeah, which is kind of an action. Basically, the whole point is, if you are excellent now, and excellent in the next now, and excellent in the next now, then you're excellent. It's not like, I have to X, Y, Z to be excellent. No, excellence is a daily act. It's a daily...
Just like discipline is a choice. It's an everyday choice. I mean...
Discipline is the hardest. Discipline right now, that's my life goal. I've gone through my own stages in life where there's always like a theme. My theme right now is discipline. It's come back before. I think I probably should have mastered it. I didn't. But
the thing is that you can master something and then if you don't continue, then it's consistency. You can master it, but you gotta be
the key to consistency. But do you think things are like riding bikes, or do you think things are like fleeting opportunities,
I think they're like going to
chances,
the gym. I think they're like going to the gym.
Interesting. Yeah.
not chances. I mean, chances are just chances. Chances are just fleeting opportunities. But at least in terms of like discipline and habits and consistency and stuff like that, it's like going to the gym. It's like you're not gonna see the results that you want unless you know, go in there every day. And a big part of it is like is remembering what you do it for.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're doing stuff to impress people, and then you're of course you're at a point you're gonna get demotivated, you're gonna feel embarrassed. But if you're doing it because you love it and you're just trying to learn, then you'll never lose. There is no actual losing. There's only learning. You know. I'm saying, like, when I look at working out, period, my whole thing is that, like, you know, I mean, the only way I've ever enjoyed it is when I'm just trying to compete with myself and what I've done previously. And honestly, it's like, for me, it's more like a spiritual experience. Like, I really like to you know, it helps me center my mind. It helps, like I said, I have a lot of anxiety. When I do a whole bunch of yoga and fucking run and do a bunch of push-ups and like calisthenics and, you know, fucking burpees and fucking, you know, all that CrossFit shit. When I do all that, you know, after like a day filled with anxiety, at the end of that day, I feel, you know, I feel great, and I don't feel so weird or whatever. You know, I don't even have time to have anxiety. I'm clear-headed. Like, when I first started, I was like, you know, I'm gonna write a verse a day. I'm gonna write a verse a day. That's what happened when I started writing. You know, I just started writing a verse a day, and then it got to a point where, you know, when writing a verse a day just became kind of redundant. It became more about just how many hours did I spend doing it. You know, whereas like now my routine is like, you know, I try to work for 6 hours a day and work on music for 6 hours a day. I struggle with consistency, I think, just like everybody else. I struggle with you know, not with feeling like I'm not doing enough, because I mean, even though I do a lot and I've done a lot to get to where I am, there's a part of me that knows that I should have been
doing more.
There's a part of me that knows that I should have, by 23 years old, I should have been out there. I should have been out on TV. I should have been out, you know, winning awards by 23. You know what I mean? That's the part of me that knows that.
Wasn't your path?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily my path. I think I chose my path, and I think I got exactly to where I am because I chose it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't see it as like, you know, but what I will say is that I am driven by an overwhelming anxiety and fear of failure. I don't take it personally when I'm not working hard enough. I don't beat myself up about it. I don't get into this phase where I'm like, why? Holy shit! All this is like because like I know exactly why.
Okay.
It's my fault. I made my choice. So if you live under the assumption that it's your fault, that you're in control of your own,
you make better decisions in the future.
Then you know, there's nothing to feel weird about. I am definitely the type of person that looks at an obstacle and doesn't say like, oh, holy crap. I look at it and be like, all right, how can I break this down? How can I make this as easy and as efficient as possible? Because I'm not about to spend my whole fucking life doing this.
And I appreciate you for doing this interview.
Jordan Chalmers. Shout out to Jordan Chalmers.